Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming. Hopefully everything is working correctly and you can hear me and everything looks good. I'm hoping. I just want to check and make sure we're public, we're live. I think we're okay. Awesome. Well, let's talk about what we're going to talk about, shall we? We got a whole bunch of stuff to cover. It's crazy. But what to cover first? Oh, decisions.
See, Pastor Hank G.
Oh, that's a problem. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me just pull this up real fast. I want to pull up Clip Chimp real fast, which is, of course, the program that I wrote to manage my clips and things. I used to call it Clippy, you know? Oh, God, so much stuff happening today. I'm sorry. Give me just a second. Trying to pull it up. All right, here we go. Import. Tabs.
More and more. I said.
All right, let's hit Ice, Webbin, American AF, Tim Allen. So much stuff to cover. All right, let's hit Kunneman first.
They say UFC.
Yep, this is it. Open. This is Clip Chimp. Open. All right, awesome. All right, this is Hank Kunneman. He's a prophet of Trump. He's like a MAGA prophet or whatever. And he says God told him that he ordered Donald Trump, basically, to invade Venezuela.
They say you have seized Venezuela for the oil. Yes.
And that's good in his mind?
This is true, that there is that which has been brought to the forefront of this earthly battle.
He's speaking with God's voice right now, by the way. That you can tell because he's got his eyes closed.
But the enemy has sought and was seeking to bring war and to bring conflict through Venezuela.
The enemy was seeking conflict through Venezuela. What are you smoking, Hank?
And to control the oil of the earth. But the spiritual oil and the natural oil does not belong to the forces of darkness or to those who thought that they could bring a one world order. This is my reset. And the oil of the natural and the oil of the spirit is mine, says the Lord.
Jesus Christ, dude. Think about what he's saying right now. He's saying the United States should go in and steal Venezuela's oil. I mean, straight up take it from them. Okay, the oil in Venezuela, they have like tons and tons of oil in oil reserve there, like $17 trillion worth or something. And Donald Trump and others, Hank Kunneman, think they can just go in and take that. You know, that represents labor and time and effort that people put in to collect that. That is a country's natural resources that belong to the workers that mined it or whatever, that extracted it. And right-wing nutcases like this want to just go in and take it from them. It's like, you know, thousands of years ago or even hundreds of years ago or even recently, they used to go in and pillage countries. You know, they would go in and they would take all of their savings, all of their money, all of their gold and their goods, and they would leave. They'd leave them with nothing. It's evil, dude. And this dude is endorsing evil on God's behalf. This is by no stretch of the imagination the only insane shit that Hank Kunneman has said and done recently. Let me find...
Well, see,
Okay, we're going to test this. I'm testing a new feature on Clipchamp, which is this program that I wrote so that I can manage my videos or whatever. I added a new feature where you can mute sections because he says a slur, and I'm hoping it doesn't come through on the live stream, but we'll see. Listen to what Hank Kunneman said recently here. This should just show you what kind of person he is.
well, see, Pastor Hank, Jesus did not go around.
Wait, why is it so quiet?
Well, see,
Let me fix that. Hold on. I'm sorry. Give me just a second here. Normalize audio. Clear completed. Process all. 1 second. Here. Try that.
well, see, Pastor Hank,
That did not help at all. Really? All right. I'm just going to try to amp it up, and I'll amp it up in post, too. Try this.
well, see, Pastor Hank, Jesus did not go around and, upset anyone.
Yes, he did. He turned over tables. He took a whip, fashioned it all night, went into the temple. More than once he cleansed the temple. I guarantee you somebody was probably in the cross.
Okay, this is not working. I don't know why this is... Give me a second. Wait, what the hell is going on right now? I'm sorry. I'm having an issue with Clipchamp at the moment. Forgive me. I just have to close and reopen it and try to get this to work. Just a second.
well, see, Pastor Hank, Jesus.
No, that...
Yeah, all right. Well, it's just going to have the slur, unfortunately, but just listen to this.
Well, see, Pastor Hank, Jesus.
It's too quiet. Almost got it. Sorry, guys. I didn't realize it was such a quiet video, or I would have fixed this before streaming. I'm just using FFmpeg to fix it. It's important that I fix it, so give it a second. Let's see. What else do we have going on? Oh, yeah. This will be cut out. I'm just keeping you guys entertained for a second. Check this out. I found this Twitter account called American AF, and it's insane. We're going to cover this in a little bit, too. But look at this. There's this video, this post. Young Americans across the country now making videos reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Liberals are furious. I'm so furious over this. OMG. I'm so mad that people are saying the pledge. Oh, it gets to me, guys. It's getting to me. Something fierce. Dude, it is so fucking stupid. Okay.
Well, see, Pastor.
Let's see if I, hold on.
Well, see.
There it is. There it is. I got it. Okay. That's much better. I'll just play it in quick time, real fast.
Well, see, Pastor Hank, Jesus did not go around and, upset anyone.
Yes, he did. He turned over tables. He took a whip, fashioned it all night, went into the temple. More than once he cleansed the temple. I guarantee.
So this dude is advocating for violence, right? Political violence. He's saying Jesus wasn't violent. Yes, he was. And you need to be violent too. We want political violence, according to Hank Kunneman. What is wrong with him? Does he really want to live in this world where violence is acceptable, nay, encouraged?
I guarantee you somebody was probably in the crosshairs of those whips.
turning over the tables.
By the way, that bit, he's talking about that verse in John 2, I think, maybe. Here's a little fun fact for you. That was Hitler's favorite Bible verse, where Jesus went, like, braided a whip and went in and, like, whipped the money changers and stuff. I'm just saying, I think that's kind of interesting that it seems to be Hitler's and this guy's favorite Bible verse.
I'm sure one of them probably had one of those tables fall on their foot. How about when he told the disciples and the people, said, hey, by the way, go tell Herod, okay, who was in government. Well, if Jesus, we're supposed to stay out of politics. Why don't you act like Jesus? We're supposed to do what he did. He said, go tell Herod the fox. Now, that word fox was not, oh, go tell that sly guy. No, literal translation of sly fox is basically someone who is bisexual.
This is the slur.
I've heard some people use the word faggot, that it literally meant to call out Herod's sexual immorality. And
He's heard some people use that word? Does that word really apply in this situation? You think Jesus was going around calling gay people the F word? Really? You think Jesus was the kind of person to use slurs, hateful slurs against people? You know, there's a word for gay people already. You use that word because you want to encourage hate. You could have just said gay. You could have just said homosexual. Instead, he chose to use an actual slur. This dude is vile. He does this shit simply to hurt people. That's it.
Lifestyle as a bisexual human being leader. And Jesus involved himself. He was not afraid to speak up.
Yeah, definitely seems like the kind of thing Jesus would do. Throw around slurs, call people slurs. Absolutely. That checks out. Kunneman, dude, he is like... God. I don't know what word to use to describe him. Schmoobligong? That feels right in here.
I kept hearing when I prayed for Mike.
I mean, this dude is so ridiculous.
But watch, for you have heard, and I will reveal the true.
Wait, let me find a good one here. 1 second. How far in are we? Yeah, okay, 13 minutes. See in his lawsuit. 1 second here. Here's one of the funniest clips from Hank Kunneman, in my opinion. He claimed Mike Lindell was going to win his lawsuit. Dominion was and Smartmatic, I believe, were suing Mike Lindell. Remember, Fox News settled for like almost $1 billion, and Mike Lindell lost the lawsuit. But before he lost the lawsuit, Hank Kunneman prophesied on it from God.
And I'm telling you, the fact that it's in court right now is a very good place, because now we've been hearing what God has been saying, Gene. Luke 18. God of justice, the highest court of all, the court of heaven, God himself is getting involved. And he is going to avenge Mike, my pillow, and we the people speedily from the garbage and the injustice that we have gone through.
So the claim is that Mike Lindell is going to win his lawsuit. And not long after this, he lost it. Hold on. 617. And then he comes out with this one.
And I'm telling you, the fact that it's in court right now is a very good place.
Hold on, let me just...
And I'm telling you, and I
Wait.
will we can't.
Hold on. I am missing a video.
And I'm telling you, I kept hearing when I...
Yeah, here it is. Here it is. I'm sorry. This one.
I kept hearing when I prayed for Mike something about an appeal, and I heard when I was praying that there has been an appeal that has gone before the court of heaven, which is amazing because that's the highest court of all. You cannot mess with God. Acts 9,
Totally.
Paul thought he was tough, big, but he got knocked off his high horse. God has said this is the year of his fight, and we are going to see the Lord continue to fight for those who are standing like Mike and other great people who are saying, you know what, God, we want your justice. We want your righteousness, and the Lord's going to do it.
So he prophesies Mike Lindell's going to win his lawsuit. He loses. And then Kunneman comes back and says he prophesies again and says he's going to win the appeal. And that's what he meant when he said he's going to win. It's just false prophecy after false prophecy, bro.
And I'm telling you, it shall turn for...
Hold on. Let's see. Yeah, here you go. Here. This is another absolutely absurd video from Kunneman.
It shall turn for your favor. It shall turn for the favor of those who have stood in this country. And I say, hardy, har, har, says the Spirit of God.
I don't know what the fuck that means.
I laugh from my throne what they have done.
Dude, look at this MAGA crowd. This is so awful, dude. Like, you know what? I'm not going to go low. I'm not going to make fun of their looks. Not going to go there. Let's continue.
God says, I have given you dominion even before you were born. God said, I placed in your mouth a prophetic word. I placed upon you a prophetic anointing, but I raised you up as a king. God says, watch now. Every time they afflict you like the people of Israel.
Dude, you catch what he just said there, right? Every time they afflict you like the people of Israel. Every time they treat you like Jews were treated in Germany. That's what he's saying. Every time people treat you like they are Nazis and you're a Jew.
I placed upon you a prophetic anointing, but I raised you up as a king. God says, watch now. Every time they afflict you like the people of Israel, you shall grow. You shall multiply. You shall increase, says the Lord. Right.
Well, unfortunately for Mike Lindell, that's not how it played out, of course. Mike Lindell is flat broke now, so there's that.
Did say to Adam, and I say to you, you will be fruitful, you will multiply, and there is a replenishing that I'm using you for, not only in your business, but God says this country. So receive a fresh anointing and watch how businessmen rise up, and there is new partnerships that will be formed, and they will not break because of lies and division, says the Spirit of God.
I mean, this dude is really, really disgusting. Seriously, like, here's one of the most vile videos from him, in my opinion, aside from the slur video that we just listened to. But check this one out. This is him pretending to faith heal people.
But I do feel that some people came here tonight and an element of fear hit you because of a doctor's report that you've recently got.
Okay, so this is at Flashpoint. It's a TV show that's absolutely insane. Think about the average audience member at Flashpoint. We're talking 60, 70, 80 years old types of people. This was from 2022, July 2022. How many of these 60, 70, 80-year-old people are going to have a bad doctor's report? Not zero, right? The faith healing nonsense is so transparent and disgusting.
And it's worked on you, worked on you, worked on you, worked on you. And God wants you to know that it's going to turn out better than what your own mind is telling you and what the enemy's telling you. But I really believe that you need to be prayed for, so I don't want to come away from whatever they're feeling. I feel very strongly with what I'm delivering with this. And if you're here and that's you're saying, you know what, Pastor Hank, in fact, there was one specific one in the month of May that has...
You see what he's doing here? He's getting very general, starts general, and then he starts to narrow it down a little bit. In a crowd of, say, 10,000 people, I'm guessing how many there were, how many of these boomer generation people, or at best Gen X people, had a bad doctor's note? And how many of those people got the bad doctor's note 2 months previously, or whatever, 2 months earlier than this video came out? Out of 10,000 people, this is how faith healing works. Maybe 30% of the crowd had a bad doctor's message. And of those 30%, maybe 50% of them had it 2 months ago, or somewhere in the vicinity of 2 months ago. Hell, say 20% of those 30% got the message in May. So now we're still in the thousands, I think, or maybe the hundreds.
Carried over into this month, you've got to go back again, and it's messing with you. And God wants to just verify to you that it's going to be okay. I want you to raise your hand and identify who you are, because we want to pray for you. Where are you in this room? Right over here. Okay, is that the month of May? All right, I want you to stand. Mario, I believe this is how we team. I want Mario to come with me. Would you come on down? Anybody else, you've got a doctor's report specifically. In fact, there's someone that
now he's getting real specific. Ready?
They feel like they found a mass. That's what the x-ray said. That's what the doctor's report said. There was a mass in your chest.
So we're talking 10,000 people. Out of this crowd of 10,000 older people, how many of these older people were diagnosed with cancer in the past 2 months? Not zero, right? But they're hearing him say this, and they're thinking to themselves, this feels real. How could he have known? I've never dealt with cancer in my life. This is the first time ever. And I come to this Flashpoint thing for the first time, and he knows that I have cancer. And the rest of the crowd is listening and taking this in and thinking about it. Even better if it's not an older person, if it's an unlikely person. But the chances are there will be somebody there that fits all of these qualifications. It's cheap cold reading, at best, a cheap cold reading trick, right? Disgusting. It's dirty.
And God's going to show you the power of shrinkage and disappearance.
Absolutely dirty. Now, whoever he brings up there, whoever he works with or pretends to faith heal or whatever, that person isn't going to go to the doctor. Or if they do go to the doctor, they're going to assume that they've been cured of it. But either way, no matter what, they're going to get all of their money, because they're going to will all of the money to Flashpoint. That happens a lot more often than one would think. They're going to leave them in their will because they believed that they were helping them. Or if they don't die, if they do survive, they're a donator for the rest of their lives. And so is the family that came with them. Vile, evil shit. Anyway, tell me what you think about it in the comments. This dude is awful. Let's cover ICE. Let's see here. 1 second. What's going on here? Hold on. I'm having trouble with
100%.
100%.
And so we have a demo.
I'm getting it. Okay. Got it. Let's see.
When you say you have.
And so, I'm federal.
All right. I want to talk about what ICE is up to right now. And I don't want to leave you on a bad note. I'm going to talk about how we denazify and how we denazified Germany after World War II. And this is probably a lot deeper than most people even realize. First, let's talk about what happened with ICE. As most people probably know, Renee Nicole Good, I believe is her name, was shot by an ICE official for no reason. She was trying to leave, and he shot her through her side window and killed her pretty much instantly, I understand. Republican reaction to this has been disturbing, to say the least. This is Jessica Tarlov, if you're not familiar, or no, you know what? I'm not going to start with her. This is Asmongold. I mean, there's no ambiguity about this, okay? She was trying to drive away. You can, if you want to look, you can look, but I'm not going to bother. You can watch her back up, and as she backs up, the ICE officer, Jonathan Ross, I think, pulls his gun out of the holster as she flips out of reverse and turns her wheels. They executed her in the streets. And how are Republicans reacting? We're going to talk about how we're going to deal with it in a minute, but just listen to this.
And so, anyway, what's this here? I can't with these people trying to call this a murder and all that shit. Well,
this is Asmongold, by the way, one of the world's biggest streamers, if I'm not mistaken. Gigantic.
Hey, maybe they shouldn't be in front of the car. The thing is that you're never going to convince these people that it's not, okay? Like, it doesn't matter. The only thing you have to do is crush them. You crush them completely. You never go, like, after you say, basically, after you run one of them over, right? Or you shoot one of them for trying to run you over, then you victory lap around it, and you send in more people, and you do it even more.
This is evil. How could he possibly? Somebody was literally just shot in cold blood and killed, and he wants to shoot more. What the fuck?
It's the only solution. So yeah, why not just shoot the tires? So that way you make the car unsafe and some other innocent bystander can get hurt indiscriminately because the person didn't follow the law? Nah, bro, you shoot.
Okay, so he's saying, what if at some future point it's possible that maybe she runs somebody else over? First of all, she didn't run over the ICE official. She wasn't even trying to. You can see that clear as day that she wasn't trying to do that. Second, you can't shoot at a moving vehicle because a moving vehicle is going to continue in the direction that it was going when you kill the driver. So it's doing you literally no good except for you just killing somebody. And third, you can't execute somebody based on some possible crime they might commit in the future you suspect maybe. That's not how anything works. She was clearly trying to flee. And he even acknowledges that in a second.
Them right in the fucking face. They said to stop the car. They said not to do this. They said to get out. And she's walking around, driving around.
By the way, where are all the All Lives Matter protesters? What happened to them? This is a white woman that died. I thought all lives mattered. I thought this wasn't about black or white. I thought this is about all lives. Where are they? They evaporated.
What are you talking about? Absolutely not. You shoot him right in the fucking head. That's it. Aim for the legs. Yeah, bro. Aim for the legs. Oh, my God. Some of these people not thinking about this at all, brother.
Wait, what? I don't... He's making fun of people who say aim for the legs? What? I'm trying here, okay? Please, help me think. Help me think. I'm not a good thinker. What is the logic behind not hitting them in the legs exactly? Like, why is he making fun of people for saying that? I don't understand.
They're not there. Put him down. Put him in the dirt. That's right. And, yeah, and she drove into a light post, right? That's it. And so that's the way it happens. So, yeah. Oh, my God. Okay, I'm going to get out of the way. And then he pops her off. He shoots her right here. Yeah, there it is. You see right there. Oh, wow. And then he shoots her.
Look. Her tire is turned. She's turning. You can clearly see that she is turning in this video. When he pulled out his gun.
Gotcha, bitch. And then he shoots her a couple more times to finish her off. Yep. It's just a completely 100% justified.
What the fuck, dude?
Absolutely rip fucking bozo. Anybody watching this clip, and again, you think about if you're the police officer.
He's not a police officer. He's an ICE agent. Police have jurisdiction over U.S. citizens. ICE does not.
You hear the engine revving, you hear the wheels spinning, and the car is going directly in front of you.
No. He stepped out of the way. It was not going directly toward him.
Yeah, you pull out the gun and you shoot the bitch. Duh. I don't think that she intentionally, her stated goal was to run over the police officer. Her stated goal was to get away from the situation.
If you're listening and not watching, as you can see on screen here, the person who produced this video, this clip, points out that Asmongold recognizes that her intent was to flee. 1:42 p.m., he says her goal was to leave, not run somebody over, right? Who's this Jagoff? He's a moron. One of the most popular Twitch streamers alive, if I'm not mistaken.
To run over the police officer. Her stated goal was to get away from the situation, but she hit the police officer in the process of achieving that goal, which in my...
No, she didn't hit the police officer. It's complete bullshit. He walked away. He walked over to his car, said fucking bitch under his breath, got in his car and drove off. Is actually what happened.
My opinion is basically the same thing. I drew it out and I'll explain it to you again.
Now they say 1:44 p.m. So 1:42 p.m., he said he acknowledged that her intent was to flee the scene, just to leave. They had no reason to detain her. They're not police. They have no jurisdiction over her. She was just leaving. She's perfectly within her rights to leave. She wanted to go. She can go. And now 1:44, 2 minutes later, he's got this ass backward idea of what she was really trying to do based on nothing.
Is basically the same thing. I drew it out and I'll explain it to you again. Is that the agent was trying to get out of the way because he could see that she was trying to run him over.
But I thought she was fleeing.
That's clearly what was happening. She was trying to run him over. And so, and I'm curious to see if they're going to show whether the agent had any damage or not. And that's really what it comes down to. Her stated goal was to get away from the situation, but she hit the police officer in the process of achieving that goal.
She didn't hit the police officer, though. That didn't happen.
The agent was trying to get out of the way because he could see that she was trying to run him over. And this is another component. I want you to use a little bit of logic here, right? And think for yourself for a second.
Think for yourself, guys. Ready? We're going to think for ourselves.
If this woman is willing to basically almost run over a police officer, the guy had to jump out of the way because she was trying to run him over.
He didn't jump out of the way. He stepped one step to the right. She was not trying to run him over. Her wheels were fully turned to the right. She was leaving.
That's very clearly what happened. I saw it on there's two different angles of it happening. So what do you think the odds are that she might run somebody else over after that?
It's irrelevant what she may or may not do. What is this, the fucking Minority Report? Is that the name of that movie? Is that the movie? It is, right? Where they try to get into your brain and see who's going to commit crimes next and arrest you beforehand.
You see what I'm saying, right? And this is the butterfly effect of non-compliance that causes...
What non-compliance? They had no place to detain her. They weren't even trying to detain her, as far as I know. I think somebody tried to open her door and it was locked or something. But they're ICE agents. They have no place to detain her, to arrest her, to hold her, to nothing. She's a U.S. citizen. So here's my problem. By the way, this guy is well known as the Roach King because roaches literally crawl across him while he's streaming. His room is fucking disgusting, dude. Anyway, here's my issue. What do we do about these people? There will come a time when MAGA is no longer in power. What do we do when the time comes? I happen to have researched Germany post-World War II very heavily. I wrote a whole book about it. Was Hitler an Atheist? It's on Amazon and Audible if you want to find it. What do we do with these people? In Germany, they had something called Spruchhammer courts. And they were, they had Nuremberg trials, of course, and those tried arch criminals like Göring and, Himmler and Goebbels killed themselves before the Nuremberg trials happened, but Albert Speer, Schacht, and, other arch criminals involved in all of this stuff. But what do you do with a population of 60 million people when it's gone so completely off the rails? The answer is Spruchhammer courts. That's how we handled it in Germany. And so here's how it worked. They had a questionnaire, Fragenbogen, I think is how it's pronounced, something to that effect. It means question sheet, basically, in German. And I have a copy of it, actually. I have a copy in both English and German. It was pretty hard to find, actually. This is it right here. Military Government of Germany. Warning, read through the Fragenbogen carefully before filling it in. The English text will prevail if discrepancies exist between it and the German translation. Answers must be typewritten or written clearly in block letters. Every question must be answered precisely and conscientiously, and no space is to be left blank. If a question is to be answered by either yes or no, write the word yes or no in the appropriate space. If the question is inapplicable, indicate this by some appropriate word or phrase, such as none or not applicable. Anyway, I think there were 64 million Germans in Germany, and I think 10 million adults had to fill these out. Pretty much everybody had to fill this out. It was like 131 questions or something like that. And it was your whole history of everything. Your job history, your history with clubs in Germany, your history with the Nazi Party, because it was a political party that you had to be a member of. And a lot of people were nominal members. Like, they were just a member because you had to be if you wanted to do anything. A lot of people were in the Hitler Youth, like the German Boy Scouts, because they had to be. It was hard not to be heavily immersed in the Nazi movement in Germany. You wouldn't get hired for jobs or whatever if you weren't. So they list all of the clubs that existed. NSDAP is the Nationalsozialistische Deutsche Arbeiterpartei, the Nazi Party. That's what that is. Means National Socialist German Workers' Party. The Waffen-SS, the SA, all of the different clubs. And then they had like a bunch of questions about when you joined it, about any people that you might have, worked, like any people you might have helped, any Jews you may have saved. And they had these things called Persilschein letters. Persil is the brand of fabrics or of laundry detergent that existed. So these Persilschein letters were basically letters you could get from victims of the Nazi government to, quote unquote, whitewash your reputation. So a concentration camp guard, for example, writes to a Jewish victim of the concentration camp who was freed at the end. And the concentration camp guard asks the Jewish guy, will you write a Persilschein letter for me? And the guy basically had his wife write back, and the wife pretty much said, you didn't do anything to me in this concentration camp, but do you really think that's the basis on which we should rebuild our society, doing nothing? I'm not writing you a letter because you didn't help me. Not that you didn't do anything to me. I don't give a shit. There were a lot of people that didn't do anything for me. You didn't help. So you'd get a lot of, there was like an underground Persilschein movement of like people signing these letters for each other. But here's the process of how the Spruikhammer courts worked. Every German adult over 18 in the U.S. zone, there were 4 zones. There was the U.K. zone, the U.S. zone, the French zone, and the Russian zone. So in the West, we had 3 zones, U.S., U.K., France. Every German adult over 18 in the U.S. zone, over 16 for the Meldebogen, which is basically the Fragebogen later on. It's the same questionnaire pretty much. So basically everybody over 18 and in some cases over 16 had to fill out the questionnaire. The forms were reviewed and cross-checked against captured Nazi party records from the Berlin Document Center. So when they lost the war, the Gestapo, like what we have today, ICE, kept incredible records. They had a little index card on every single person, pretty much. They had 12 million records. 64 million people in Germany, 10 million or so adults had to fill this out. 12.5 million records of denouncements. And a denouncement was when somebody calls the Gestapo and they say, "I'm denouncing my mother. She didn't say Heil Hitler when she answered the phone this morning," or whatever, that kind of thing. The Gestapo investigated every single denouncement. Everyone, even the frivolous ones, when children denounce their teacher for assigning too much homework. They show up, they ask some questions, they talk to the children, who are the best students, who are the worst students, and then they go back, they document it. And we got our hands on those documents after the war. So we would compare the Fragenbogen to the denouncements records from the Berlin Document Center. Based on the questionnaire, individuals were provisionally sorted into one of 5 categories. Major offenders was number 1. It was 1 through 5. 1 was major offenders, subject to imprisonment, loss of property, death in extreme cases. Number 2 was offenders or activists, subject to imprisonment up to 10 years, employment restrictions. Number 3 was lesser offenders, probation, 2 to 3 years, restrictions, but no internment. Number 4 is followers. They were fined and possible minor restrictions. And number 5, no sanctions, exonerated, which means they were either found to be nominal members, like they were only part of the party because they had to be, or they got a Pasilschein letter to exonerate them. Again, Pasilschein letters were pretty common. There was a whole underground network to supply them. So here's how the hearing happened. So it starts with registration, initial screening, classification, as I just described, and then hearing. Those in categories 1 to 3 and sometimes 4 would appear before the Spruikhammer for a formal hearing, where they could present their case, submit Pasilschein, call witnesses, and argue that their membership was nominal or coerced. We're talking 10 million people, a lot of people. The tribunal would render a final classification and sentence. There were some problems with it. One of the problems is that it was so overloaded because they were trying to send every adult over 18 years old through the system. It took literal years to go through, and political will started to fall off after a certain point. So just trying to retrofit and think about how this would work for us, we would want to make this happen as quickly and swiftly as possible to denazify the United States. This is how we would do it. The Spruikhammer courts were kind of set up like town halls a little bit, where the judges were all just people from the community. They weren't like law graduates. They weren't like special whatever. They were trade unionists. They were, workers. They were farmers. They were just people that lived and worked in the area and knew those people. So even if they did lie on their document, the people in the community knew their reputation anyway. Hang on, there was more I wanted to... I'm just looking through. Yeah. When someone appeared before a Spruikhammer court, they were literally being judged by people who knew them. As one U.S. High Commissioner report described it, when he came before his peers and neighbors who sat on the courts, these people had no grievance against him. They did not judge him by his ideological beliefs, but on his day-to-day activities, which was a problem, because some of them were Nazis. And they got out of it because they were just nice guys, generally, to the community. And some of them were shitheads in the community, but were not Nazis. So it was colored. But I really think that in the United States, this is the way that we're going to have to go about it. Community members kind of judging other community members. Hang on, I'm just looking here. Because I have notes on this whole thing that I wanted to hit. In the end, people viewed denazification as a failure. I don't think it was. I think one of the most valuable and important parts of denazification outside of Spruikhammer courts was the shame element, the shame factor. The fear of what happens if you show up to work wearing your SS boots. Are people going to treat you like shit if they see that? And when Trump eventually, kicks it of old age, which, God willing, he's going to die in bed, happy with family, hopefully not underaged family in that bed with him. But anyway, the point is, when that eventually happens, I believe people are going to be ashamed to have been associated with MAGA like this. They're going to be ashamed of this moment. And all you have to do to earn my vote is to tell me that we're going to bring back Spruikhammer courts to the United States. We're going to bring them to the U.S. Or something like it. Because we are so far gone at this point that they are lucky that there isn't a civil war. I don't want a civil war. I don't want any violence at all. But the shit that I hear on a day-to-day basis from people is insane. There's no other word. Insane. That's how they did it in Germany after World War II, and that's how we're going to have to do it in the United States, in my opinion. Yes, we're going to prosecute everybody at the top. We're going to prosecute Elon Musk, Pam Bondi, Kristi Noem, and I'm very confident that they're going to flee somewhere like Argentina or something. Many of them will. I'm sure of it. Stephen Miller. But we're still going to have a Nazi problem in the United States after that. And I think Spruikhammer courts are our solution to that. I want to think about what comes next. And you know what else? One final thing. I'll leave you on this note. Diaries and journals were invaluable during Spruikhammer hearings. If you know somebody was a Nazi or a member of MAGA or whatever, and they are lying, or they got a Perseelschein letter, they got a letter of exoneration or something like that, diaries of people around them in their neighborhood, in their family, detailing their history of all of the shit that they did was invaluable to prosecuting them after the war. So keep a diary. Keep a journal through this period. It was so incredibly useful. We will recover from this. We will. One of the big differences between now in the US and Germany is that it was a different history with different people and different experiences and different culture. And it's not really fully comparable for that reason. In Germany, during the height of Nazi activity, everybody was a Nazi. Here in the US, you can see strong pushback. Look at the hands-off protest and the No Kings protests. Massive mobilization. People are not afraid to protest and make their voices heard. That wasn't the case in Germany. People were afraid to protest in Germany. Nobody wanted to open their mouth. Nobody wanted to stick their head up for fear they'd have it shot off. That's not the case here. And that's a good sign. They had completely crushed the opposition by destroying grassroots support because the communists refused to work with the Social Democrats because they believed that the Social Democrats basically were Nazis. We cannot let that happen here, and it doesn't appear that it is. The point is, people like Asmongold, we're going to have to denazify people like him. We're going to have to face this head on. And I have a plan to do that right out the gate. Anyway, tell me what you think about it in the comments. All right, that was 52 minutes. All right, awesome. Okay, let me pull up. Got Hank Kunneman. We got Ice One. I'm sorry. I'm just looking through here real fast.
I pledge allegiance to...
All right. I found this Twitter account, American AF, I a non-patriot. And check this post out. Young Americans across the country are now making videos reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. Liberals are furious, Lamau. I'm so infuriated by this. OMG. I cannot stand it when people say the pledge. I'm angry. I'm so angry.
Allegiance to the flag.
Hold on, sorry.
Flag of the United States of America and to the republic
this will get so much hate, unfortunately. Oh, I hate it so much. It's eating me up inside. Oh, I can't stand it.
Stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, so angry, right? Dude, this Twitter account is so wild. I went through some of their other stuff, and it's just insane. Check this video out. Lamau, a dude drove through the anti-ICE protesters in Minneapolis. This is the way. Yes, run people over. Fantastic idea.
What is this?
Get out of the way!
Luckily, the crowd split when he was advancing into the crowd.
DSP
359!
Seriously, I don't understand how, like, people get away with that. You're literally running somebody over and putting their lives in danger. All lives matter, my ass. Check this one out. We are all immigrants. Dude's holding a sign, says we are all immigrants. The post says, never forget when liberals paid protesters and one immediately went out and bought drugs. SMH, lol. Oh, he's standing there and they're saying that he's drugged out or whatever. Okay. Yeah, definitely bought drugs with his Soros money. Absolutely. An Islamic flag is raised over Newark, New Jersey's City Hall. This is what a conquered city looks like.
Allah.
Really, Newark raises an Islamic flag over City Hall? I don't know what's happening here actually exactly, but if I had to guess, I would say they allowed a Christian flag to go up, so they have to allow any other religion to raise a flag as well. The Satanic Temple does this all the time too. I mean, assuming this isn't AI, I would not put it past this account to be spitting out AI shit. Gunther Fehlinger, chairman of Austria's NATO Enlargement Committee, sends a warning to President Trump if he takes Greenland. We will kick America out of our countries. We can defend ourselves without America's nuclear shield, troops and bases. We will run the American boys back home to Chicago and Ohio. NATO is bluffing. They can't even beat Russia. What the fuck? Look, breaking. Patriots have raised $271,000 for the ICE agent who was almost ran over by a liberal terrorist in Minneapolis. This is fucking disgusting, dude. This guy literally murdered a woman, and they're sending him money on something. I don't even know what this is. Why is he a hero here? What did he do that was heroic and deserving of donations? At best, at absolute best, people can say this is a tragedy, right? Like, just hypothetically, say that she intentionally aimed the car at him and stepped on the gas, and he bravely rolled out of the way like a hero and then fired off some shots and killed a genuine terrorist. This is a tragedy. There's nothing good about this. Why would you be celebrating anything about this? People died. People's lives were in danger. Why would anybody donate to this? Liberal woman brags about moving her family out of America to protest President Trump. This is great news. In a world full of people moving out of the U.S., I'm proud our family did too. Okay. ICE is now blocking off entire streets in St. Paul, Minnesota, and going door to door arresting illegal immigrants. This is throughout the whole city. Clap, clap. Fucking disgusting, dude. Like, seriously, like, think about what they're clapping for. This is exactly what happened with the Gestapo in Germany. Seriously. I don't feel I'm being hyperbolic here. How can they possibly, like, going door to door and arresting illegal immigrants, how can they possibly be okay with that? In what universe is it a good thing to go door to door arresting people for, like, anything like that? Artist Dave Matthews says President Trump and his administration are cowardly, shameful, and dishonest people. Does anyone give a fuck what this dude thinks?
Shameful, dishonest.
Dave Matthews. I never liked Dave Matthews Band, but that's metal as fuck right there.
To Trump, to Kristi Noem, to Stephen Miller, to Pete Hegseth, to Bondi, to all of them. Just deeply, deeply dishonest people. Just cowardly, shameful, dishonest people. Fuck them. They are revolting. Renee, Nicole, good. She was trying to get away. And he shot her 3 times in the head. Murdered in cold blood. And this administration, these people who are trying to tell us not to believe what we see. It is so horrific. To Trump.
It is so horrific, seriously. Liberal white woman says she's going to use her white body as a shield for black and brown people against ICE agents. These people are ridiculous, lol.
He really, owned it. You're having a good day? You're having a good day. You think that your little guy with the big beer belly and the little dick energy and the mask, he really like owned the libs today, right? Okay. Oh, good for you. Good for you. Let me tell you. No. You've just pissed us off even more. Even more. And as a white woman that looks like that poor woman that was shot, let me tell you, I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop putting myself in front of black and brown people to protect them. I'm not gonna stop being—
I don't think she said she's going to use herself as a shield. I think that was very obviously metaphor. What a dishonest piece of shit this person is. I think they have, how many subbies? They have, holy shit, dude. They have 800,000 subbies on this account. That's so disturbing.
You think that, let me tell you, I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna stop putting myself in front of black and brown people to protect them. I'm not gonna stop being empathetic. I'm not gonna stop going to protest. You have just pissed me off more. Here's the thing. I'm not afraid of you. What I'm afraid of is my children and grandchildren living under fascism. Also, Emmy wanted to tell you to fuck off.
What is wrong with this Twitter account? Holy shit. These people are so disturbing. Whoopi Goldberg is now requesting for NATO to invade America and overthrow the Trump administration. Yeah, I bet that's an honest representation of the show, right?
Where is everybody? Because where are—
You're worried about Greenland right now.
Well,
because beyond, I'm not on board for Greenland.
Where is the government? Do you realize we don't have a government?
Oh, you mean
we don't have
given all their power away.
Yeah. Yes,
they do nothing.
This is a huge and should be our biggest bitch right now.
It is.
That should be. Yeah. Because all of this—
I don't understand. Like, what's he saying? He's saying that she wants NATO to invade the United States?
This is happening because there is no one doing checks and balances.
There's no system.
Where is the government? Why aren't they doing their job? And let me—
Talking about, like, Congress, the Senate, the states. Why aren't they stepping in and stopping this kind of thing? Yeah, I agree. Why?
tell you, I feel like, you know, he hinted yesterday, he says he was joking, but he hinted yesterday that maybe there won't be midterms.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I don't think he even hinted. I think he came out and said that basically, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
Now, you know, we're in it already, okay? We're not heading into it. We're in the dung right now, okay? We're in it. So we really need to be paying attention to who we've given power to. And if the people we've given power to, whoever you vote for, if the person you've given power to doesn't give a damn about you, get them out.
Yeah.
Wait, what the fuck is this person talking about? They said she's requesting for NATO to invade America? No. She never said anything even approximating that. What is this dude smoking that he would say something like that? What the fuck? I should just watch the videos and then read the title of the post moving forward. Because everything he says is bullshit on this. This is nuts. Check this one.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Check this one out. See what this dude said.
Oh man, look at these fucking traitors. What the fuck is wrong with you? How do you fucking sleep at night, you Nazi piece of shit? How can you as a black man turn on the people like this? What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with every one of you Nazi fucking pieces of shit destroying this fucking nation? Shame on you, you fucking Nazi traitor! Shame on you! You're fucking laughing, you fat piece of shit! Fuck you, you fucking Nazi assholes! Fuck you for your betrayal of this fucking country, you traitorous little bitch fucking Nazi! Fuck you, you Nazi piece of shit! Shame on you! Shame on you, you fucking traitorous bitch! Fuck you, Nazis! Fuck you, you fucking traitorous little fucking bitches!
Dude, there's going to be so much censoring in the edits on this. I'm sorry. And the post, liberal man slams ICE agent because he's black. These people are racist as fuck. He says the guy was racist because he attacked somebody for being black. No, he was pointing out that a black guy, historically oppressed in the United States, has sided with the oppressors and is now a Nazi. It would be like a Jewish guy becoming a member of Jews for Hitler, which existed until 1935. I would say to him, "You're Jewish. What the fuck are you doing? Why are you a member of this organization?" And in this piece of shit's mind, that would be racist for me to say. Reality is flipped. Reality is flipped on its head. Nothing these people say makes any sense anymore, if it ever did. Absolutely insane, man, and disgusting. I'm telling you, man, we're going to have sprue camera courts in the United States. If you don't know what that is, check out my last video about it. I talk about sprue camera courts in detail, about how after World War II in Germany, they basically sent all, 10 million adults through these court systems to give each and every person a hearing, and they all accounted for their behavior and their actions over the course of throughout the 1930s. Were they ever involved in the Nazi Party? What was their level of involvement? Did they ever help victims of the Nazi Party? We're going to have that kind of thing. Lowest offenders had fines, all the way up to the highest offenders, which were actual activists, people who were not important enough to be in the Nuremberg trials, but were still like arch criminals. Enrique Tarrio, leader of the Proud Boys, Stuart Rhodes, leader of the Oath Keepers, those types of people would go through the sprue camera courts and be charged and sentenced to 10 years in prison. That kind of thing. We're gonna see that. I am very confident that's going to be here in the United States one day. Not far off. Anyway, disgusting shit, dude. Absolutely disgusting. Tell me what you think about it in the comments. There's another video I wanted to hit. It was ICE. So this woman apparently she ordered DoorDash, and when it arrived, the DoorDash driver runs into her house, and ICE shows up and basically tries to get into her house. There's a follow-up video to this. I don't know if you guys saw the follow-up where they actually, we see the resolution, what happened at the end. I'll show you in a second. Just give you some context for the situation first here.
Then they're going to break the door down.
That's fine, but I don't want to open the door if they don't have a warrant.
She called the police, and they said, open the door for them, basically.
Because this was my DoorDash lady. I don't even know the lady. She just ran to my house.
All right.
I have a baby here. I really don't know what to do. I'll open the door if the police, say that I have to open the door, but, I don't know what to do. This lady just was shot yesterday. Now, I ordered fucking food, and there's people outside my fucking house.
Cheyenne, I'm on my way, okay? All right.
Wait, is this the police? No, maybe this is a family member?
What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I'm so scared. James, come downstairs.
Cheyenne?
What? I literally ordered DoorDash, and now there's ICE agents around my house because the lady ran in my house, and I don't know what to do because I don't know. They have no warrant. They have no warrant. They said that they were going to get one.
We'll come back to this in a second, but there's this book called Thought Reform and the Psychology of Totalism by Robert J. Lifton. It was written in the 50s about Chinese brainwashing and how they brainwashed people. it was a complicated process that I don't need to get into right now. But one of the things that they did, they basically treat them like complete shit, like literal animals. And then they slowly work them up to be treated like kings, as long as they do what they're supposed to do. As long as all they have to do is something very simple. Just say something positive about China and say something positive about the United States. Then say something negative about China and something negative about the United States. Just write it down on a piece of paper, each category, and then they would take those papers and they would hang them up around the prison camp. Only the positive things about China and the negative things about the U.S. That's all you had to do. You had to say something good about each country, and we'll give you your own room. Until then, when they arrive at the prison camp, they would take all of their clothes off of them, completely naked, chain their arms and their legs together behind them, and they would put food in a bowl on the floor in front of them and water in a bowl like dogs. And they would make them eat from the bowls and drink from the bowls. They wouldn't, if they used the bathroom, there was no bathroom. They would just go right there. Maybe cleaned up once a day, once every couple of days. That's the kind of shit that they did in these Chinese brainwashing camps. And as it turns out, that's the kind of shit that's happening in ICE detention facilities right now. Seriously, that is really happening. Chain them up and force them to eat from the floor. So I can't blame this woman for running and hiding. I would not want to be in ICE custody either.
I don't know what to do. I called the police. The police are on their way. I can't ignore it. I have a baby here and they have guns pointing everywhere in my house. I have some random lady in my house. I have my child barricaded.
They're looking at our backyard, too.
They're looking at everything. They're everywhere. All because I ordered some fucking DoorDash food.
You know what I would do in this situation? I might try to help her get out somehow or hide her in some way, and then I would just go watch TV. If they get a search warrant or feel emboldened enough, they're going to bust my door down, and okay, they're going to bust it down. There's nothing I can do, but I'm not going to allow them to walk in. If they get permission from a judge, they will let themselves in. I don't know. Maybe that's the wrong way to do it.
I don't know what to do. I'm going to have a fucking heart attack. This is the lady's license plate. They already took someone out of her car. I called the police. The police are on their way. I asked for a warrant.
And they said they had a warrant, but refused to show it, of course, right?
I just fucking ordered some fucking food and then some lady ran in my house.
The DoorDash lady ran in her house. This dude just has his hand on his gun, just fucking chilling.
I don't want them to come in my house.
Okay, but this is the thing. Even if they get the warrant, they're coming in your house. They're not going to leave. So we need to come up with a solution to do this peacefully, right?
Oh my god.
I own this property.
Oh my god. I need to hold on. My neighbor's calling. Hold on. Hello? Yes.
Her neighbor called.
They said they're gonna get a warrant to come in here because...
Let me show you how it ended, and we'll continue watching this. This is how it ended.
Okay, ma'am, the police said I have to let you go. Ma'am.
She knows that she's going to an ICE facility where they're going to chain her arms and legs together and make her eat off the floor. Is she ever going to get out of there? There are cases where we have no fucking clue what happened to the other people. They're just gone. We have no idea where these people went. They went to these ICE facilities and they up and disappeared.
I don't know what to do.
No, they won't hear you. They won't hear you.
How could you do this to your own fucking people? That's insane. I don't fucking care. Y'all didn't have no fucking warrant.
Just give her some time.
Just give her some fucking time. Y'all just shot someone in Minnesota. I ordered DoorDash. My fucking DoorDash.
So the police said that she has to turn her over. What a hard situation, dude. I don't know what I would do. I would do everything I could to whatever it took. I don't know. I would tear up my fucking floor. I would stall them for 20 minutes while I tore up my floor and shoved her into the floorboards and covered it up again. Something. I don't know. Anything. Hide her in a fucking oil tank. Something. Because after studying the brainwashing camps, the concentration camps, and the ICE facilities, and knowing what she's going to, I could never live with myself knowing that I sent somebody out the front door to them.
Are you fucking kidding me? I'm Native American. Get the fuck off my yard until she comes that way. You don't even have a fucking warrant. But I'm not going to go to fucking jail because y'all pieces of shit ain't got nothing better to do because your wife still want to suck your fucking dick.
Oh, shit. Sick burn. Damn. Oh, God, dude. It's so horrifying. Just the whole thing is so horrifying.
I have family. I'm sorry.
You need to come with me, ma'am.
There's nothing we can do.
Come on.
There's nothing we can do.
Come on. Just come on. Ma'am, I am so sorry. I don't want to do this. Come on. Come on.
Oh my God.
I don't know what to do. I'm Native American. You're in the ice suit. How are you going to reassure her?
No, es mentira. Usted los separan de los babies. No.
She has babies? Is that what she said? I couldn't understand. Does anybody know? I'm going to play it again. Anyone in the comments or the chat or anything can make it out. Let me know.
You're in the ice suit. How are you going to reassure her?
No, es mentira. Usted los separan de los babies. No.
I don't know what to do.
Owen! Where's your papers?
The cop told her to give up. I wouldn't be able to turn her over. I wouldn't do it. They would have to bust the door down. And if they did, what am I going to do? Just going to sit there and I'm going to let them do what they're going to do because I can't change the situation. But I would absolutely not walk her out the front door. I would absolutely not do that.
You're bad!
You guys are illegal on stolen land! You guys...
So anyway, that was the end. They turned her over basically because they had no choice. I wouldn't have done that, but...
We ordered some DoorDash and somebody ran in our house. So now we don't know what to do. I don't think the police are going to do anything because I don't know what to do. I'm just waiting for the warrant. I don't know what to do, man. This is scary. Can I just get a warrant?
You don't even know her. Like, that fucking matters? You don't even know her. Who gives a fuck? Who cares if you know her? We know what kind of shit ICE does to people. Why, who cares if we know her?
I just want a warrant, man. I got my child in here. This shit happened yesterday and
I would probably tell him she ran out back and then let them inside, and I would hide her thoroughly. That's probably what I'd do. Tell him she went through a window or something where, you know, they weren't watching.
Nothing happens. If we wait, it's going to get worse.
If we wait, it's going to get worse. Like, they didn't do anything, and ICE has no jurisdiction over U.S. citizens.
SWAT team's going to come.
They're acting like this is some kind of a hostage situation. Can't they just fucking leave her alone? Why does it matter? She one of those criminals that's trafficking drugs or some shit? She's literally a mother, okay? She was a mother doing a job, driving DoorDash.
Why do you make it worse? We don't want to deal with nothing with you.
Do you have your ID? She said she has her ID on her.
Hold on. Okay. If you put your hand off, you take your fucking hand. Stop. Okay. If I open this door, one, you're not coming in my house. I will give you her. This is her ID. She is a U.S. citizen.
They said they ran her place.
This was my fucking DoorDash.
Holy shit, dude. She's a U.S. citizen.
The fact that you guys are tormented. I'm Native American. My fucking family already died for y'all to work here. Hung by Abraham motherfucking Lincoln. 38 plus 2. So the fact that y'all are on a Native American's fucking house is pissing me the fuck off. I will open this fucking door when I have the fucking decency to open this door since you guys have pointed fucking guns at me. I will fucking open it.
She's a U.S. citizen, dude. She has an ID. That is wild.
But you guys are not coming to my house. You guys will not shoot anybody. You did yesterday.
And you had your hand on your gun this whole time you've been here, dude.
You had your hand on your gun the entire time.
We have it all right here. You're fucking lying.
Get off my yard and I will open the door to let her out. Go up to the car, because I don't feel comfortable letting, I have a 2-year-old. I have a 1.5-year-old baby.
It's totally fair. Get the fuck off her property, right?
I have 3 more in school. I have 3 more in school. Hello?
Hey, Cheyenne, this is Commander Hank with the Sheriff's Office calling.
Oh, the cop's calling.
Yeah?
So, I understand that you're fighting right now.
I'm gonna
I'm going to, but move.
Please.
Did he say he's going to move out?
Options, right? So either let the federal agents come in and take care of it.
Trying to understand what he's saying. You have 2 options. So the sheriff's office is going to come up there just to tell you the same thing. Open the door and let her out.
Okay, but what do I do?
Well, I think that choice is up to you. You have those. I mean, those are your 2 options.
Right? Saying they'll charge us.
You need to come with me. Come on.
Can't. I have family. I'm sorry.
You need to come with me, ma'am.
There's nothing we can do.
Come on.
There's nothing we can do.
Damn, they're going to charge them with what? Charge them with what?
Come on. Just come on. Ma'am, I am so sorry. I don't want to do this. Come on. Come on.
Oh my God.
I don't know what to do. I'm Native American. This is against everything I...
That's fucking wild, dude. Anyway, like I said, they sent her out eventually to who knows what. Like, what happened next? What happened to her? I don't know. We don't know. These people, literally, they just disappear into the system and they're never heard from again. I'm telling you, this is identical to what happened leading up to World War II. In the 1930s, identical. The Gestapo used to do shit like this. There's a step past this that the Gestapo took. They would plant bombs in people's houses. They did that shit sometimes. You cross them, And this happened to Martin Niemöller, dude that wrote First They Came for the Communists, and I said nothing because I wasn't a communist. Sorry. Then they came for the socialists, and I said nothing because I wasn't a socialist. Then the trade unionists, then the Jews, then they came for me, and there's no one left to speak for me. He was head of the confessing church, the opposition to Hitler in the church. And the Gestapo planted a bomb in his house. You know, we're not at that point right now, obviously. And I don't expect to be at that point anytime soon. But we are at the point where they are wantonly executing people in the streets if they're showing any kind of challenge at all to them. They're certainly shooting them with pepper balls in the face and rubber bullets. What disturbs me is we don't know what happened to the woman and children. We saw the men, no women and children. As someone with ASD, I am scared. Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely. ICE is fucking horrific. This is sad to see. It absolutely is. But I feel that it's an obligation on us to watch what happens next. If it's too much for you, I totally get that. You got to tune out, then you've got to tune out, because this is pretty hard. This is hard shit. But it is important that if you are capable, you see this and know what is happening. Anyway, tell me what you think about it in the comments. Just horrifying stuff, man. Horrifying. 27. All right. Done with ICE 2. Done with American AF. Allison Steinberg. Hang on. Let's cover something a little lighter. Let's cover Candace Taylor. All right, hold on. Let me organize these. What is this one? This is, no. Yes, this one. No. Yes, this one. This one. Okay, got it. Nope. Almost got it. Hold on. There we go. All right. Nope. There we go. Okay. This is Candace Taylor. If you guys don't know her, she's like a right-wing Christian nationalist nutcase. She's lost a lot of weight. I didn't even recognize her at first. This is Candace Taylor just I don't know, a year ago, or when was this? This is 2023, so a little while back. But wow, dude. Crazy. Listen to what she says.
100% America was founded on Jesus Christ. It was founded on the Holy Word of God. And I'm going to go to Congress from District 1 in Georgia, and I'm going to let everybody know we're going to uphold the Constitution that is founded on God. Creator God, Yahweh. All this Quran bullcrap, all this worshiping other gods, all the separation of church and state.
Worshipping other gods, separation of church and state, it's all nonsense.
Mess that's perverted. Those days are over. The church runs the state. We the people, we're the church. We run the state.
She is so goddamn cringy, dude. But it's actually entertaining as hell. Listen to what she said before. This one is from 2022. By the way, Naricole, you gotta go. Okay, no sweat. Thanks for coming. I appreciate it. I try not to cover heavy shit like that. But sometimes I feel it's necessary, you know. Anyway. Yeah, 2022. Check it out.
More and more, I'm like, it doesn't make sense. So is it or not? I don't know 100%. But
This is Flat Earth Dave in the top right.
it's just, it doesn't make sense the other way. Now that you see it.
The people that defend the globe don't know anything about the globe, because if they knew a tenth of what Matt and I know about the globe, they would be flat earthers, because it's absolutely ridiculous.
It is so fucking stupid, dude. And she took some serious heat for going down the flat earther route. And she felt the need to defend herself, which I found particularly entertaining.
Can't unsee this. All the globes everywhere. I turn on TV. There's globes in the background. There's globes on there right here. Like this would be a globe if I was a normal person. Like
If I was a normal person, imagine for a moment that I was normal. There would be a globe back there, and I'm using that as evidence that the Earth is flat.
where there's globes, you see them all the time. I mean, it's constant. My children will be like, "Mama, globe, 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 globe."
Why the fuck are your children pointing out all of the globes? Have you indoctrinated them into flat Earth or something?
They're everywhere, and that's what they do to brainwash. And so, for me, if it is not a conspiracy, if it is, real, why are you pushing so hard? Everywhere I go, every store, you buy a globe. There's globes everywhere. Every movie, every TV show, news media. Why?
Why? Love it, dude. Somebody said, didn't she backpedal? Yes, she did. And the backpedaling is part of the entertaining bit. That's the entertaining part of this.
I said that it was globes everywhere. There's propaganda, but it's the truth. And you know how many people who don't believe in flat Earth, they believe that we're, in a solar system. They reach out to me. They're like, Candace, you know what? You're right. I have been looking in stores and there are globes everywhere. Like,
yeah, only globetards believe in that, right? Globetards.
They're globe toys and there's globes in the decorations. And you said that on your show. And
globes in the decorations?
People thought you were crazy, but it's true. Why are they pushing the globes? And I said, well, I think it's because of NASA wanting to spend billions of dollars a month. But they try to say that I'm crazy because I said that. And they still go on my social media and my comments and they say, are you seeing globes everywhere, Candace? Are you seeing globes? I'm like, yeah, I am.
Wow, okay. I thought that was the video where she walked it back, but apparently not. Jesus Christ, dude. Insane. And she had Flat Earth Dave on there again, apparently. Oh my God, dude. Thank God for this woman, says Skelts. Yes, absolutely. All right, so this is where she started to walk it back, I think. Actually, before we listen to her walking it back, this is a really disturbingly accurate parody.
I'm not a scientist because that is a made-up job, but I know that the Earth is flat, okay? Because if the Earth was round, why would maps be flat? They can never answer that, okay? And people want to be like, well, if the Earth is flat, then what about night and day? I don't know. Let me think about it. Maybe because the Earth is double-sided and God flips us over when it's time for us to go to bed and flips us back over when it's time for us to wake up, like I do with my husband. Like, use your brain. Use your head for a minute. If the Earth was round like a globe, everything would be falling off of it. All the oceans would be dripping down it like ice cream, okay? Unless the Earth is a DQ blizzard where nothing falls out. But even then, sometimes things do fall out and they do have to give you your money back. So that doesn't really make sense to me. They're trying so hard to make us think the Earth is a globe. I see globes on TV, globes at my children's school. I saw a globe at Hobby Lobby, a place of worship. Hobby Lobby, there was a globe there. I mean, if I were a normal person, there would be a globe behind me, but I have a rotary telephone that's not hooked up to anything, so Bill Gates can't track me, okay? Because I'm using my head.
That's funny, dude. And maps, right? Somebody said maps in the comments. Maps are all over the place. That's just proof they're trying to push the Mercator projection down our throats. Oh, she's so stupid, dude. She is so... And I'm not saying it isn't to be offensive. I don't even mean it to be offensive, really. But she's so fucking stupid. Is there anything knocking around between those two ears, or is it just air? Hobby Lobby's a place of worship too. That was good. I liked that.
I've never said the Earth was flat. I've never said that I was a flat earther.
Oh, please. Yes, she did. Dude, this is a top-tier freeze frame, too. I'm taking this for the screenshot, or for the thumbnail. I'm grabbing this right now. Never said the Earth was flat. We literally just listened to her argue that it was.
Never, ever, ever have I said that. I did not say that globes were fake. I never said that.
Globes say made in China on the bottom. There's your proof.
I said was that NASA taking billions of dollars every month of our taxpayer money.
Honestly, NASA gets almost nothing in taxpayer money. their budget is $24 billion per fiscal year? No. Yeah, okay. So it went down from 25 billion to 19 billion in 2026. Deep NASA budget cuts, unfortunately. But yeah. So their budget percent of the US, NASA's budget as a percent of the US's budget is 0.4% of the total US budget. They are adding almost nothing to our national deficit or whatever. If you want to complain about a program that's costing a lot of money that we should be cutting, there are a ton of better places to start than that. Yeah, I'll leave it at that, I guess.
And funding something that we do not see any progression in.
Hey, I'll tell you what. This is how we save money. You want to save some money for real? Make it so that... I'm thinking about this for a second. Who would be better to vote on Congress pay package and healthcare plans than Congress? Pretty much anybody, right? Maybe the states' Congress hold a hold a meeting or whatever. They all get together and all state congressmen vote on federal Congress budgets, something like that. I don't know, or maybe like an independent board is brought in to vote on Congress's pay package. I think that would be significantly better than Congress voting on their own pay package. Is she complaining about that? No, she's complaining about NASA because they have globes.
Thing that we do not see any progression in. Going to space, going to the moon, going to Mars.
We see a ton of progress. What are you talking about? We just discovered possible life on Mars recently. What do you mean this is a waste of money? We get all kinds of things out of NASA. First of all, you know that money isn't being loaded into a spaceship and then sent to the moon, right? Like that money stays here on Earth and is spent by people, put back into the economy, given velocity, as they call it. Money is given velocity, which stimulates the economy. First of all that money is being spent here on Earth. And second, we get massive payback from it. We get new technologies and all kinds of useful shit.
Learning more about space, there's no progression. We're in an economic crisis. Our whole economy is falling apart. And we're sending billions of dollars to NASA, which I now believe I hit a nerve.
Yeah, totally.
And it is crazy the amount of people that are conservative Republicans who are listening to the left agenda. And you can try to make me look crazy all you want to.
I don't have to try to do anything. You're doing that yourself, Candace.
I believe in the Word of God. I believe that God created Earth for us to enjoy.
You know what I think? I think she's coming after NASA now because she realizes that we may actually make progress and discover extraterrestrial life, maybe, at some point, right? And that's going to throw a wrench into her belief system, and she can't have that. That's what I think. Check this one out. This is after the whole debacle, after the whole flat earth controversy. This one is from 2022, actually. No, it was before the flat earth controversy. It should show you what kind of person she is.
My slogan's Jesus, guns, and babies. Jesus, because that's our First Amendment right. It's the right to worship Jesus Christ freely. It's why we have a country. Don't talk to me about separation of church and state. Church and state was written because the state has no business in our church. But we are the church. We're the church, and we run the state. And Georgia's sovereign, and we're running this state.
You think you can get that microphone any closer to your face, Candace? Would that be possible? I'd really appreciate that. First of all. And second, you're telling me that you don't think the state should be involved in the church, but the church should be involved in the state. That is literally like antithetical to the First Amendment. That is the exact thing the First Amendment was written to prevent. She is not just an anti-intellectual, but she's an anti-constitutionalist.
With Jesus Christ first. The good thing about the First Amendment is if you're a Jew or you're a Muslim or you're a Buddhist, you still get to worship your God.
But you have to bend a knee to my God, right? Because you're still going to have to, in practice, worship my God to live in the country. But I will allow you to worship your God as well if you would like.
You're in America, but you don't get to silence us. I'm sick of political correctness. It's going to stop.
Oh, my God.
I will not bend my knee. I will not take Jesus out, even when people say, Candace, you should say God. No, I'm going to say Jesus.
Who the fuck says you should say God? Who says you should say God instead of Jesus? Who is telling you this? Who's this fictitious person telling you to make it applicable to more than just Christians? Seriously, I don't understand. Who is oppressing you, Candace?
Jesus. He's my savior. He saved me. And guns, because yes, we have the right to protect ourselves.
I'm wondering where those people are now. Where do you think the Second Amendment people are now that a tyrannical government really has overreached and taken over? Where are they? Nowhere to be found. They sitting there. I'll tell you where they are. They're sitting over there telling people to comply with the tyrannical government. They never gave a fuck about tyrannical governments. They cared about making their dicks seem bigger by carrying around a gun, by buying a bunch of guns, by taking them to the shooting range and shooting them. I have nothing, against guns, but these people were always hypocrites from day one. And it just took a literal tyrannical government to show it. Anyway, she's absolutely awful, dude. Tell me what you think about it. All right, 143. 3, 4, 5. All right, awesome. We're hitting a good pace here. All right, let's see here. We got Candace Taylor, Joel Webbin.
When you say you're a Christian,
unfortunately, I think we have another slur in this. Hold governmental positions. Hold on.
You have this just in. It appears that historical event is.
Well, I'm sorry. 1 second here.
Homosexuality. Here's the advice.
Yep. We're good. We're good. Okay. Let me open this. I guess I censored this one.
If Trump is going to.
Yep. Open.
Women are atrocious.
We're not. All right. Yep. Let me just rename this real fast. Rename. Save. Open. All right. Good. All right. This is Joel Webbin. Hang on. Let me just. Yeah. I want my timeline to go away. This is Joel Webbin in the center. He is insane, dude. He's a right-wing pastor who is effectively a neo-Nazi. Says some very neo-Nazi things. And he wants Donald Trump to arrest Tim Walz and execute him.
You have an army. Like, well, she's holding up with paperwork. That's great. Burn the papers. Go in. Be president. Save the country.
Wait, being president means burning papers? Like, no more checks and balances, no more due process. Just go in and no, that's a king, not a president.
You're the guy who tweeted out, "He who saves his country violates no law." Let's see it. Do it. We've got a country to save. No more playing games. No, arrest Tim Walz, bring him to D.C., try him, and hang him.
For what? Try him for what? What do you think that he did that is worthy of execution?
Walz, bring him to D.C., try him, and hang him. Honor Christ. Save the country. This is what we got to do.
Absolutely psychotic. This dude is broken inside. Some of the shit that he says is like so incredibly wrong. And he knows Stu Peters has worked with him, been on his show a couple of times. Stu Peters is an actual neo-Nazi, like a real Hitler-loving, Sieg-heiling neo-Nazi. Anybody that associates with him, like Candace Taylor, I consider them to be neo-Nazis as well. I mean, that's pretty neo-Nazi belief, right? Execute your political opponents. Here's another.
When you say you're a Christian nationalist, what do you mean by that?
I believe that America's a Christian nation.
He had Nick Fuentes on, dude. Oh, my God.
Which is sort of in the name. Christian nationalist, America's a Christian nation. And I think that Christianity is an essential part of America's identity. Fundamentally, I think that America should have a Christian government, is what I think that ultimately comes down to.
Amen.
And
I think it is interesting because Nick Fuentes is Catholic. Joel Webbin is Protestant, and they don't usually get along very well when they are this deep in it.
if you want to get very specific and detailed about it, I believe that only Christians should be legislators, judges, and in the executive branch.
Amen.
I think that if Christianity...
What about Donald Trump? You think Donald Trump is... Does he meet your Christian standards? I do think Trump is a Christian, actually. I've sat there and thought about it for a while. And when push comes to shove, I believe that Donald Trump probably thinks that there is a God and that the God is Christian. I mean, think about the environment that he grew up in. He grew up in a very Christian culture. I don't think he thinks about it very often, but if it really boiled down to it and there was nothing on the line and he wasn't trying to prove anything to anybody, I don't think he's thought enough about the question of whether God exists to be an atheist, having grown up in a Christian culture. I do think Trump is Christian. But it's so ambiguous that you can't tell. It's like Donald Trump doesn't show us any sign of his Christian belief outside of very obviously, virtue signaling to evangelicals because he thinks he needs their votes to win and gain support and everything, you know.
He's right and true. If God has a law, then our government should follow that. I think that's historically our identity. I think that's the truth. I think that's consistent with what our civilization is. So I would start there. I think that we should have a fully Christian government.
What do you think? I agree wholeheartedly. Lex Rex, the law is above the king. I'm actually comfortable with the king.
Oh, yeah, we know. He's comfortable with the king. We'll get there. Listen to this one. Some of these I actually had to censor because he loves using slurs. And I hope that this is the one that I censored.
Homosexuality is degenerate. It is bad for the populace. It's bad for society. It's been incredibly harmful. We've seen a full court press against our own children as the sacrificial lamb in order to appease older gay men and make them feel better about themselves.
I'm sorry. What? One more time?
Full full court press against our own children as the sacrificial lamb in order to appease older gay men.
What is he talking about? What does this even mean? Our children are a sacrificial lamb to older gay men? In what way? Is he just like making shit up to hate gay people?
Make them feel better about themselves. It's wicked. It's predatory. And
what is predatory? What are you even talking about?
I think, yeah, it is appropriate for us to be able to call it what it is and say, wait a second, this is perverse, it's wicked, it's factory.
He just wants to use slurs. He's using a slur to hurt people. There are other words that he could use that are not slurs that describe the thing that he's talking about. He wants to use slurs to hurt people, plain and simple, and it's evil. These people are evil.
And it needs to stop. I think that that's okay. Yes, you can use that word on occasion.
Why? For what? You're acting like it's the only word that describes what you're talking about. Why would you use that word? Simply to hurt other people and no other reason.
As I just did, to say, no, we're not going to tolerate factory with our children. Cut it out. Stop it.
That's not happening. Nobody is trying to convert your children to be gay, and it wouldn't work anyway because that's not how being gay works. He's just looking for a reason to hate people. Special occasions, he says. Yeah.
Say Christ is Lord. Stop it. I do think that we can use some strong language.
Just a piece of shit. Complete piece of shit, dude. Wait, what's this one? Hold on. What did I put markers in here, apparently. No, these aren't markers. These are, okay. Check this clip out.
If Trump is going to have a lasting legacy, he's going to have to cross the Rubicon and say, enough is enough. The judges, the mayors, the governors, not just a sternly worded tweet. No, armed guards throwing them in jail. These are traitors to the United States. Thousands of civil officials over the last 5-6 years have committed treason. They need to be rounded up and thrown in prison. This judge, you are not an American. You don't get rounded up and thrown in prison. You get rounded up, put on a boat, and sent back. They need to be...
Wait, you're not an American, but he's a judge? Like he went through law school, got into the bar, and then got a job as a public official, as a judge? And he's not an American? How? That's literally not possible to do unless you're like a U.S. citizen, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Naturalized and deported. That has to happen. And if that doesn't happen, then as much good as Trump is doing, it's still...
He said denaturalized and deported. That means take their citizenship away and send them out of the country. He's reaching for a white ethno-state. This is fucking psychotic.
Way too much bark and not enough bite. He needs to be the American Caesar. He must cross the Rubicon. He even tweeted out, I mean, we've got the President of the United States, Napoleon tweeting, right? He who saves his country violates no law. Yes and amen. So let's see it. Let's see it.
Check this one out. This is maybe one of my favorite videos from him because it shows his mindset and how fucking stupid he is, honestly.
If we had a Christian nation and women could vote, then within 50 years, we would no longer have a Christian nation. God has not designed women for warfare. And that's part of what politics is. It's really all that politics is.
No, actually. Politics is the exact opposite of warfare. Politics is how you avoid warfare, actually.
It's war without the blood.
No, it's avoiding war.
And I believe that the sword has been given to men the sword is, without being crude, I think this is a fact. It is a phallus. It is assigned by God.
What? You think the sword is like a twig and berries? Is that what you're saying? Okay.
Sword is, without being crude, I think this is a fact. It is a phallus. It is assigned by God to men. I think nature shows that. I think scripture shows that. So both natural revelation and special revelation. War is something that is belonging to men, and it's not something that we employ in our ranks, whether it be political war or whether it be literal war, women and children. So in the same way, and people are like, that's so archaic. You're a Neanderthal. You're so,
No, it's just fucking stupid and pointless. Like, is the goal not to avoid needless death? Do we not want to avoid needless death? When people say shit like this, it makes me think that they're sociopaths because they don't seem to care about the well-being of other human beings. Didn't Jesus say, love your neighbor as yourself? Care about other people? What happened to all of that?
Primitive and chauvinistic. You won't let women vote. Well, our society doesn't let 5-year-olds vote yet. I pray that it, that it stays that way. But we don't let children.
Yes. See, he's saying women are children. He's saying that women have an infantile brain and are not qualified to vote because they're not intelligent enough to vote or understand the issues. That's what he says that's what he means when he says that.
Chauvinistic. You won't let women vote. Well, our society doesn't let 5-year-olds vote yet. I pray that it, that it stays that way. But we don't let children. We don't let children vote, and it's not just because of competency, because that would be the immediate counter as well. But their brain isn't fully developed, and so are you saying that a woman is like a child? Yes, but not intellectually. I'm not saying that. The question is how. In what way is a woman like a child?
Yeah, what way?
She is like a child in the way that God has appointed men to protect them.
Okay, well, they don't need protection. I think they're good. I think we can work together as like husband and wife, and I don't need to protect my wife because there are no vicious creatures out there except for you, apparently. Like we can, she can. Oop, I'm sorry. Hang on. Let me turn this back. Oh, no, we're good. Like she can work her job as a lawyer for American atheists, and I can work my job as a YouTuber, and I don't have to pull out the old twig and berries to slice and dice people who cross me with it or whatever the fuck he thinks people are doing with their twig and berries. This dude is straight up evil. Seriously. Some of the shit that he says and does is just horrifying. And casual use of slurs just because makes him a deep piece of shit too. Tell me what you think in the comments. Where was I? 158. That's cutting it a little close, but that's okay. We're good. All right, let's see. Tabs. Covered Candace Taylor. Covered Webben. Did Ice 1. Did Ice 2. Can open Schatzline. I should do one for Maine as well. Just thinking for a second here. Let me check jw.org real fast, actually. There was something did they do a new Caleb and Sophia? I think that they did. Let's see. Has it released yet? Yes, it did. Oh, fantastic. Okay, we're grabbing this. We are grabbing this puppy. Quiet, you. That's Kashmir. Puppy has been grabbed. Aforementioned puppy has been grabbed. Let me just drag and drop it into ClipChimp. Whoop. Oh my God, dude. What the fuck is happening? Okay, here we go. This is ClipChimp. Drag and drop. Here it is. Now I'm going to run an analysis. This is Caleb and Sophia, a cartoon designed by Jehovah's Witnesses for children. Apply, process, all. It should just take a minute. And it'll give me a title suggestion and stuff. Let's see. Now it's analyzing. I wrote this whole program myself. It was very complex. I'm not selling it or anything. I'm very proud of it. It's if you want a copy, it's not really public and it could break, but you can find a copy on owenmorgan.com/tools. Miki getting into things, I think. Or no, maybe it was Kashmir getting into things. I can't tell. It's taking longer than I expected it to. That's because it's using the wrong son of a bitch. All right. Well, that's going to take a couple minutes. Let's just watch it from here then. Hold on. All right. Just a second.
Hey, boy. Hey.
Yeah. Okay. 1 second. I'm just going to use the bathroom real fast. Take me 1 second. All right. I'm going to let it play for a second. I'll be back in just a second, okay?
Hey, buddy. Here, boy. Here, boy. Where is he? Woo! Whoa. Okay, roll over. Good boy.
Okay, kids, are you ready?
Grab your things and let's go.
Let's go, Sophia. Coming. Hey, Dad. Does Jehovah eat food?
No, but he made it taste yummy for us.
Okay, let's see. Sorry about that. 1 second. Just getting my headphones back in. See how far along Clip Chimp is. Real fast. It's doing the slow analysis, a very slow analysis. Take about 4 more minutes. That's fine. We'll pull it up when it finishes. Actually, I can pull it up now. That works. I just can't look at the analysis yet. Jehovah's Witnesses just released a new Caleb and Sophia video. I want to give it a watch, see what it says. The title of this one is Jehovah is a Real Person. This is bound to be interesting. Buckle up.
Hey, boy. Hey, buddy. Here, boy. Here, boy. Where is he?
Who, Jehovah? Is this supposed to be Jehovah? It's Reptar from Rugrats. Reptar. You guys remember Reptar? That is a straight ripoff from Rugrats, right? That absolutely looks like Reptar.
Okay, roll over. Good boy.
Nickelodeon, get on this immediately.
Okay, kids, are you ready?
Grab your things and let's go.
Can't leave Reptar behind.
Let's go, Sophia. Coming. Hey, Dad. Does Jehovah eat food?
No, but he made it taste yummy for us.
I mean, the title is Jehovah is a Real Person. So I guess they're going to grapple with the spirit quality, right? Aw.
Does Jehovah sleep?
He doesn't sleep. But he wants you to get a good night's rest.
How do you know all of this about Jehovah? Does the Bible say Jehovah doesn't sleep?
Does Jehovah have fun?
Of course. Jehovah invented fun.
And he also invented genocide, as we know. If you didn't realize this by now, I'm an ex-Jehovah's Witness. I'm very critical of the Jehovah's Witness religion. If this is the first time you're coming to my channel, I had a very bad experience with the religion. It has very cult-like qualities about it. It's been very damaging in my life and the lives of many other people. And this kind of cartoon is propaganda. It's designed to be propaganda, to bring in young members before they have critical thinking skills. And this is really, really high quality animation when you think about it. You know, Saber Spark has talked about Caleb and Sophia. I got to meet Saber Spark, actually. He came over to New York City. We hung out together. It was awesome. But he's talked about how Caleb and Sophia is propaganda designed to pull in children, young children, and how they put a lot of money into their animation budget. And by the way, every animator is a Jehovah's Witness that lives on their cult compound. It's very impressive. Pixar level stuff.
Dad, what does Jehovah look like?
He's a spirit. That means he's invisible. Just like the angels.
But when angels look at Jehovah, what do they see?
You have deep questions, my son. I don't know what they see.
Hey, somebody tell me, what accent does this family have, or does the dad have? What is his original language?
But do you know what we can see?
Romans 1, verse 20.
Oh boy, this is leading up to the anti-gay verses.
Can you please read that for us, sweetie?
Sure. For his invisible qualities are clearly seen from the world's creation onward, because they are perceived by the things made. So, when we see creation, it's like we see him?
Did they get a new voice actor for Sophia? That didn't sound right.
So, when we see creation,
Yeah, that is totally a new voice actor.
it's like we see him?
Yes. When we look at all the wonderful things he made, we learn what kind of person he is.
See that glow? It's called bioluminescence.
Jehovah's such an artist. Everything he made is beautiful.
Whoa.
This is sad, dude. They're indoctrinating children into believing that evolution isn't real from such a young age. It's heartbreaking. They're like crippling their ability to function in general society, speaking from experience. Jehovah's Witnesses are old Earth creationists, not young Earth creationists. So they think the Earth was created like 4 billion years ago or whatever, 4.54 billion. And then he created the dinosaurs to kind of mosey around, if you will, to act as fertilizer for the Garden of Eden. And then he created Adam and Eve, literal people, who then birthed every other human being on planet Earth within 6,000 years. It's wild.
What's your favorite thing Jehovah made?
My favorite thing. Outer space! Whoa.
Yeah, why? Oh, they're showing the, is this called the Eagle Nebula? I forget. This is like this was the front of one of their books, the Creation book, I believe is what it was called, long and long ago when I was little. And this is a future star. Here's how it works. They're basically just dust particles out there, just like a lot of like hydrogen and stuff, I believe. And it's eventually going to get so big that it collapses in on itself. The gravity of the dust starts pulling the dust together, and it slams into itself, and a nuclear fusion reaction begins, and it turns into a star, basically, beyond that point.
These are giant molecular clouds. Stars are born here.
So many stars! They're actually giant nuclear furnaces. Jehovah made them so beautiful.
I find it fascinating that they accept the science generally, but they reject science on evolution and like core components to this stuff that you need to accept for all of this other stuff to make any sense. Like basic evolution, you wouldn't think that it affects so many different fields of science, but it does. It affects almost every field of science in one way or another.
Yes, and he even gave each star a name.
Jehovah is so powerful.
What?
Huh?
Whoa.
What about you, Sophia? What's your favorite thing Jehovah made?
This is seriously, I hate this. These parents are indoctrinating their children so young. This exact thing happened to me. I was indoctrinated so young, I didn't have a shot. And it took everything in me to claw my way out of this belief system. And by clawing my way out, I lost everything and everybody. Because once you stop accepting what they have to say blindly about Jehovah, not even actually God's name, once you stop accepting that, your entire family, all the friends that you grew up with, everybody that you ever knew or loved evaporates. And on top of that, they discourage, nay, ban talking to outsiders. For me, I was banned from talking to outsiders. You know, I had a friend, Patrick, lived a few houses down from me. And after school every day, I used to take my little yellow bike and ride it over to his house, like a 5-minute ride. It was pretty close. He was like 3 bus stops away. So I'd ride my bike over there. And he had a little VCR that he taped Pokemon on because it aired at 2 to 2:30, and we got out of school at 2:30. So by the time he got home, he'd stop the VCR, and I'd ride over. We'd watch Pokemon together. Non-Jehovah's Witness. Until one day my parents followed me in their car, saw my bike out in his yard, took me home, and took the bike away. It's not technically a ban against talking to outsiders, but it's enforced. You are not allowed to have relationships of any kind with outsiders, really. Certainly not children. And that isolation did a number on my psyche, man. It was hard.
the brain.
Me too.
This animation though, right? Poke it.
These are brain cells called neurons.
Poke it.
That tickles.
Is she getting a an endorphins shower right now?
That was a message traveling through Caleb's neurons. They're everywhere.
It's amazing. Jehovah is so wise.
Seriously, this animation is top tier shit. This is crazy.
Wow.
Jehovah could have made us like robots. But instead, he lets us think and make choices.
Jehovah made our brains so we can enjoy the world around us. Because he loves us.
Yes. From little things to big things. We see Jehovah's qualities in everything he made. That's what he's telling us at Romans 1 verse 20.
I'm glad he made apples. Dad, what's your favorite thing God made?
This is what I love.
The smartphone? Jehovah made the smartphone?
When Jehovah made people, he made us in his image. He put his good qualities inside of us. So, when people forgive...
Hey, you guys don't think this is AI, do you? I mean, again, they've had a really good animation department for a long time, but this feels like another level. This is like really, really good. Somebody asks an apt question. How did they get out of his brain?
Or do good things for others. And show love. We can see what Jehovah is like.
But Dad, I wish I could see Jehovah. Not just what he's like.
You want to really know Jehovah.
Wouldn't you light on fire or something? Like my head? Isn't that what happens to people who see Jehovah or something? Or they go blind or something?
In the scriptures, Jehovah gives us pictures, illustrations that help you see who he is, and the many ways he cares for you and me. That's what he wants you to see. You just have to look.
I'm looking.
Look for Jehovah. Can you see him?
I'm looking for Jehovah.
Oh, not a musical. I fucking hate musicals, dude. First of all. And second, do you know that there are some people that don't have an inner monologue? That don't have that voice that talks to them throughout the day? Something like 30% of people don't have an inner monologue. That's interesting.
What do I see? Trees and glowing creatures and stars beyond my reach. But is there more to see? Is he real to me? He says he's like a potter who molds me just like clay.
Dude, what am I looking at right now? What the hell is this? I don't understand. That water animation was really interesting, but what is happening next? What is this? He's got a giant head with steam coming out his ears? Why? This is AI, right?
Like a potter who molds me just like clay. He helps me change my thinking. He guides me every day. Is there more to see? Is he real to me? One day I was so sick. I I couldn't play outside, but he was there for me. Yes, he cares for me. Jehovah is real. His love is revealed.
Real and revealed don't really feel like they rhyme exactly. Also, think about what they're doing to children right now. Like, this is being shown to 4 or 5-year-old kids who are being convinced every day more and more that God is watching them, everything that they do, and to a traumatizing degree even. My sister probably wouldn't appreciate me telling this story, but I'm going to tell it anyway. When she was 12, she was hiding under the kitchen table changing clothes because she didn't want Jehovah to see her changing. That's how invasive they make Jehovah to people. He sees literally every single thing that you are doing. It's not healthy.
Things we can see and things we can feel. Now I see his hand. Now I understand. Jehovah is real. He's my best friend. So when me and my sister make our way to school, and kids that seem so scary make bad things seem cool, we call on Jehovah and tell him how we feel.
I'm so confused about what's happening in this video. Like, she grabbed a lollipop and slammed it into the ground, and now there's lightning coming out of the ground. What is this? What is happening right now?
He's our shield.
Wait. So the kid was playing a video game and Jehovah acted as a shield against it?
When I'm at my lowest and feeling really down, he holds me with his right hand and he lifts me off the ground. Jehovah is real. His love is revealed in things we can see and things we can feel. Now I see his hand. Now I understand. Jehovah is real. He's my best friend. Jehovah is real. He's my best friend.
You know, this scene might get to me the most out of any other. This kid, like, you know, his brain is not developed. His body's not like, no, he's a child. He's literally depending on these people and has no choice but to trust them to do what's right, to guide him to, you know, the right direction, to help him find his way through life to adulthood. And this organization is taking advantage of that, is manipulating that. This organization is using the relationship between parents and children at every turn. When they're children, they use that trust to program in this belief from as young an age as possible. And when they're adults, they use that relationship by holding their parents hostage, by telling them if they don't continue believing this stuff, if they don't continue going to meetings and following directions, they will lose their parents forever. They use family at every turn, and it's heartbreaking. From somebody with personal experience from this, it's painful and sad. And this scene right here really illustrates that. He's what, 10? 8, 10? In 10 years, what happens when he isn't quite sure the organization has his best interests in mind? What happens? This dad whose arms he fell asleep in will never talk to him again. No matter what they've been through, no matter how many hard times they experienced together, no matter how many friends they lost along the way to death, to cancer, to whatever, and they all had to grieve and fight through it as a family. No matter how many hardships they experienced, no matter what. If he questions this organization to any degree, he loses everything.
Jehovah is real. He's my best friend.
Amen.
Amen.
And then they blame you for asking the questions.
Good night, Caleb.
I love you, Jehovah.
I love you, Caleb.
Again, like nothing wrong with believing in God or whatever. It's Jehovah's Witnesses specifically that are the problem, that cause problems for people, you know, in their family relationships, in their lives. They try to coerce obedience from people, and it's about as destructive as it gets. Anyway, tell me what you think about it in the comments. Yeah, I wonder who voiced God. Me too. I was thinking that same thing. 227. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's actually good. And hold on. Yeah, so the analysis finished. He doesn't sleep, wants you to get a good night's rest, claims divine attributes and knowledge about Jehovah's actions and preferences. Jehovah could have made us like robots. Instead, he lets us think and make choices. Jehovah made our brains so we can enjoy the world around us, implying God's dominion over scientific knowledge and human consciousness. It's very interesting. Cult tactics. He's my best friend. So when me and my sister make our way to school and kids that seem so scary make me think seem cool, we call on Jehovah, tell him how we feel. Interesting. Anyway. All right. Let's hit Tim Allen. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Tim Allen, probably. I saw him on a new TV show that just released, apparently. So I want to go back and talk about this dude. He is a complete piece of trash, as it turns out. I just want to talk about this video he did with Norm Macdonald about atheism. It gets absurd. Just listen to this.
I'm mad about
Hang on, it's quiet.
I'm mad about everything. I get into a little bit of politics. I get into a little bit of a religion. I love religion. I've been going to church since.
Wait, why is it so quiet? That's not good. Hold on. I gotta fix that. Give me a second. Tim Allen.
Well, what is your character?
You went to the presidential.
Yeah. All right. Let me just try normalizing audio real fast. See if that helps. And then I'm going to add a date to the Caleb and Sophia video. I know it came out on early January, so I'm going to put January 1st just so that it has a date. Did that work?
Well, what is your...
No, that did not help at all. Fantastic. Open.
Well, what is your...
Okay, there we go. That did it, I think. Let's see if I can... The fuck is happening? It's dying on me over here. All right.
Well, what is your character?
Well, it really, I wish I could tell you, because it isn't a pleasant guy. I mean, I'm mad about everything. I get into a little bit of politics. I get in a little bit of a religion. I love religion. I've been going to church.
By the way, Tim Allen also said on Jimmy Kimmel a while back that expressing an opinion about Donald Trump is like people treat him like a Jew in Germany in the 30s. He said that having a positive opinion of Trump makes him feel like a Jew in Germany. Seriously. That's who we're dealing with.
Church since I was a kid, you know, and my joke that I always says to my parents is, you're going to go to church till you're 21 like I did. And everybody, my dad, when he was alive, and I said the same to my kids, except during NFL season. And, you know, then I'll be with you in spirit.
Absolutely.
I'll be right there with you. But I said the character...
Do you feel that the new comedy, there's so much atheists? I feel that's kind of like the new hack comedy to me.
It's always been that way.
Hack comedy? Is that bad? I assume that's bad.
No, I'm not a proponent. I mean, I've studied religion in college, and I take my kids. That's where I got into physics. The chances of this
religion got you into physics? Is that what you're saying?
Thing happening like by accident? Carbon-based life forms, that heavy stars, deuterium. You get into the quantum physics of it. It's very peculiar that we're here at all.
It is peculiar. That's true. But it wasn't by accident. Accident implies that it, you know, just poof, we're all here all of a sudden. That's not how any of this works. It's like saying there's technically a chance that it, you know, that like there's space between atoms, right? So there's a chance that like when I clap my hands that they're just going to pass right through each other. It's a very thin chance. That's not the same as what we're talking about here. Life forming appears to be very common. And if life can kickstart, as we think that it did on Mars as well as Earth originally, if life can kickstart, then it can evolve. That's just how the universe works. We don't need a god or some special crazy chance event to snap things into existence to understand how this happened.
Yeah. It's very peculiar that this worked like this. And some of these ancient texts, especially Jewish texts, I give these guys, Jews, great credit because there was a 300 or 400 years before the Buddhists. They came up with law from Sumerians, Babylonians, blah, blah, blah. But basically...
Wait, I'm sorry, what?
Without law, we'd eat each other. You know, that human nature, this is, I think John Wayne said, you can't legislate it. He said, he turned from a very...
I'm sorry, I'm so confused. Are you saying Jews invented the law against murder? I think that's what he's saying. I hate to tell you this, Tim, but not murdering was part of human law long before the Bible came along. Hundreds of years, maybe thousands of years before the Bible came along, we had a law. Hammurabi's Code included a lot of really good stuff, and it was pre-Bible.
Very good progressive from Democrat to Republican. He got pushed by We Think. And he said, listen.
I'm sorry. Siri, turn on living room lights. My lights turned off. I'm very blue and very yellow all of a sudden. Okay, there we go. Where did all this Republican stuff come in? One more time.
Without law, we'd eat each other. You know, that human nature, this is, I think John Wayne said, you can't legislate it. He said, he turned from a very good progressive from Democrat to Republican.
Oh, John Wayne did. Okay.
He got pushed by We Think. And he said, listen, you can't legislate human behavior. You put 30 people in a room, give them all $1. In a week, 2 guys are going to have all the money.
But you can legislate human behavior. That's why we have laws in the first place. But I think it's interesting that he's saying that you shouldn't legislate human behavior. I wonder how he feels about gay marriage, being a MAGA extremist, Christian nationalist fucking nutcase. I wonder how he feels about trans people. Can't legislate human behavior, right?
That's just how it works. Yeah. People do this evolution of mankind. And I said, I've never been, I got kicked out of more churches because of stupid crap I'd say. Yeah. Like even the bishop said, we just don't want you around here anymore. I mean, literally.
Well, I don't know if you guys knew this, but Tim Allen actually got caught with a bunch of drugs. Hold on, let me find one second. All right, here we go. October 2nd, 1978, when Tim Allen was 25, he set up a $42,000 drug deal. Oh my God, that's crazy. At the Kalamazoo Battle Creek International Airport in Michigan. He'd gotten the idea to put the drugs in a locker and give the buyer the key after seeing it done on TV. That's from Vice News, telling the story. This is from Vice. Allen was set up by an undercover officer named Michael Pfeiffer, who allegedly had been following the amateur drug dealer for months. When Allen handed over the brown Adidas gym bag containing over 650 grams or 1.43 pounds of cocaine. Oh my God, that is so much coke. The next thing he knew, he had a gun in his face, was being surrounded by the cops. Holy shit, dude. 1.5 pounds of coke. The 650 lifer law problem. To make matters worse, Michigan legislators had recently passed a harsh new law called the 650 lifer law. Anyone convicted of selling the amount of coke Allen had just gotten caught with was facing a life sentence without the possibility of parole. Wow. The snitching deal. Facing life in prison, Allen provided the names of the other dealers in the scheme in exchange for a reduced sentence. This allowed the case to be moved to federal court rather than state court, meaning the new Michigan law wouldn't apply. Allen's information helped authorities indict 20 people in the drug trade and resulted in the conviction and sentencing of 4 major drug dealers. As the future star charmed a judge throughout the ordeal, the judge told Allen that he expected him to be a very successful comedian. Fortunately, in the comedy world, being a snitch isn't a deal breaker. Wow, dude. How is he still alive after that? Seriously, that is nuts. He must have turned in people, that, like everybody up and down the chain, that could possibly be a threat to him. That's crazy. Allen was sentenced to 3 to 7 years in prison. It's not good being in prison as a snitch. In total, Tim Allen spent 2 years and 4 months in a Sandstone, Minnesota prison. He was paroled in 1981. The contrast, others weren't so lucky. Oh, there's also the 1997 DUI. On May 24th, 1997, he was arrested in Bloomfield Hills, Michigan for drunk driving. In 1998, he entered rehab for alcohol abuse after being charged with a DUI. Wow, dude, that's crazy. Maybe that's why the churches didn't want you around. You ever knock that one around the old noggin? How the fuck do you come up with $42,000 for 1.5 pounds of coke? To my understanding, he was not an actor yet when all of this happened.
Don't you find some of the times the problems with atheism is that really their problems are with churches, not with God.
Well, listen.
They go, there's no God because a priest fucked a kid. It doesn't make any sense.
No, but I said,
okay, that's not why I say there's no God. Has nothing to do with the fact that priests take advantage of children. It's more about the fact that there's no God. Like, there's no evidence for any of this. There just isn't. I'm sorry. Give me evidence and I'll believe it. That's all I'm looking for. And besides that, which God? Which one? We talking Yahweh? We talking Allah? We talking Hashem? I mean, those are the main gods from, like, the main three religions. But what about Vishnu? What about Buddha? What about any of the other gods out there? There are thousands of gods. Zeus, Thor, Odin. I mean, which one should I believe in? They're mutually exclusive. I can't buy all of it. Why do you want me to believe in Yahweh?
A priest fucked a kid. It doesn't make any sense.
No, but I said, my older daughter's atheist, and I said, well, philosophically, it's an irony there too, because atheists don't believe in God. Well, there has to be a God for you not to believe in.
I've been saying that for like ever to atheists, right? And I say the same thing about leprechauns. If you don't believe in leprechauns, there has to be a leprechaun for you to not believe in, of course, right? There has to be a Loch Ness monster for you not to believe in. So the Loch Ness monster must be real because you don't believe in him. Proof the Loch Ness monster is real. Owned.
And my daughter goes, she's still in therapy over that.
Yeah, that just totally broke her brain. Now she believes in the Loch Ness monster.
No, I always wonder about that because, and also, the atheists are usually choosing a God not to believe in.
You have to have a God not to, otherwise.
Like Doc and.
Nope. I live in the United States. The predominant religion in the United States is Christianity, and that's who I argue against the most. But I would just as readily argue against a Buddhist or a Hindu or an anybody. Or Scientology. I argue about Scientology all the time. It's nonsense.
Doesn't believe in a Christian God specifically.
Yeah, exactly. And I said, I get the idea. It's weird. There's an old the spirit.
Yo, what the fuck, Norm? By the way, what happened? You dropped the ball.
Exactly. And I said, I get the idea. It's weird. There's an old the spiritual side of philosophy will get to this point where they said, if God is unlimited, which you have to agree, kind of rationally.
You do?
That's what a God. How would God ever deal with limited us? It's very difficult. Every time God has tried to speak to us, that person got killed. Because he said, "Hey, this is great," and then people shot him. There's only been.
They what? I'm sorry. Every time somebody talked to God, they shot him. Didn't Moses talk to God? The burning bush. Didn't Elijah talk to God? Maybe I'm mistaken. Job. Who else talked to God?
Very few people that actually spoke or had said they spoke directly, and they all translate what they heard into human speak. And they're generally kind of screw it up somehow.
Sure, of course.
And it'd be very difficult. There's a Mark Kornhauser, used to be a magician that I work with all the time. And this is one of my analogies for the spiritual life. He goes, he did that trick where you rip a newspaper. Remember, magicians always worked with us with prop acts, and comics probably are going prop act. A lot of prop acts I like. The Amazing Jonathan is hysterical, and I like magicians.
Oh, dude, The Amazing Jonathan is the best. Oh my God, I saw him when I was little. He's so fucking funny, dude. If you haven't seen The Amazing Jonathan, you need to check this dude out. This is not the time or place. I'm considering. No, I'm not going to show it, but it's so good. You got to check it out. Cue it in the playlist. Watch it next.
Hey, you rip
the newspaper and then you unfold it.
Yeah.
And I'm on stage going.
All right, you know what? I got to show The Amazing Jonathan. I'm sorry. Give me just a second. We'll come back to Tim Allen in a second, but I got to watch The Amazing Jonathan. Oops. Just for a second, so you don't have to cue him and watch him next. Oh, yeah, we're just gonna jump here.
Like a gerbil. Oh God, I gotta get to the hospital. Look at this mole on my neck. This thing is driving me nuts. You know, when it was little, it was cute, but now, a lot of comics won't even do mole humor anymore. They're chicken. Well, we're gonna start with a magic trick. You, sir, do you have a handkerchief? All right, do this. You have something hanging. It's bugging me. I can't concentrate with this. Thing's getting longer and longer there, and I just know, no, eventually it's got to fall up by itself. I know that, but I got only like 7 minutes, so we're gonna start with a really neat trick. Does somebody have like a $5 or a $10 bill or anything? You have a $5? Anyone? Just any kind of money at all? I know this generally just makes everybody a little antsy that we use your money for a trick. So if it's gonna bug you, we'll skip it because we have a lot of other shit we can do.
He's so funny, dude. Okay. No more Amazing Jonathan. Let's jump back to Tim Allen. Amazing Jonathan is top tier shit.
What? Hey, you rip the
newspaper and then you unfold it.
Yeah.
And I'm on stage going, it's magic.
Oh, yeah.
I watched both hands. There's no, he didn't.
Yeah.
You know, I couldn't get it. So I backstage said, show me that. He goes, no, I'm not showing you that. If I show it to you, 3 things will happen. You'll go, oh shit, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Then you'll try it.
The newspaper thing where they rip up the newspaper and then they have a whole thing. It's the newspaper is folded up into a very tiny square, and they can unfold it instantly after ripping it up. So, yeah.
And magic will no longer mean anything to you.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing. One day I was saying, I wonder what like prophets saw.
Uh-huh.
And then God, imagine that if God said, listen, if I show you what's really going on here, you're going to go, oh, that's stupid.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're saying that God is just like a shitty magician, that he's just pretending to be all powerful and failing miserably? Is that what you're saying?
And then you're going to try to tell people. And the third thing is you just won't want to be here anymore. This won't mean anything. So you got to, I heard some guy
The only guy he ever showed was Job.
And then I think the prophet Islam.
Ezekiel?
No, Muhammad. They showed him, and then he wrote it because his miracle, he said to his staff, was.
We're not going to get too deep into that.
No, but you don't want to get into that. He couldn't read or write, so he said his miracle was he wrote their holy book.
But he was a nuts guy, from all accounts.
Really, was a good guy.
No, he wasn't. And what the fuck am I looking at all of a sudden? What is this? Is this his daughter? Why is this like right in the middle of the? Okay.
What? Learn my lesson. Break.
Yeah.
I guess that's the word. I thought.
Which was
Anyway, yeah, Tim Allen, he's a complete scumbag, dude, and I would hate to be his daughter, to be perfectly honest. To deal with that shit. Now have to spend the rest of your life in therapy because he proved that the Loch Ness Monster is real. Anyway, tell me what you think about it in the comments. Dude is just stupid. So that was 48. That was pretty short. I may cut out the Amazing Jonathan part. I may cut out the last part too and just end it on atheism. Just in an editor's note. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, okay, we're good. All right, I'm going to get out of here, guys. Appreciate you hanging out with me. It's been fun. And I will see you guys. Oh, yeah. He's the type of guy that makes a woman cover her drinks. Absolutely. Thank you so much for the super chat. It was an hour ago. I'm sorry I didn't hit that sooner. Given how RFK and Trump are talking about autism, terrified that people like me could be next. Yeah. Voting hard blue in midterms. Absolutely. Salt the ice. That's good. I like that. Yep. We just got to keep pushing. Keep fighting.